Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody in the hall. It's nice to see young students also joining this session, and it is from them that we have this hope of change in future, adoption of technology, etc. So, the topic right now is use of innovative technologies by public and private agencies. As Secretary Sir has already pointed out, there are certain constraints under which public sector organizations like mine, Central Public Works Department or other similar organizations operate. We have to take care of the financial aspects. It's just not by choice that we can pick and choose anything. And in general, we have to spend the money in such a way that tomorrow it cannot be said that it was wasted in some way because it is public money. So therefore, we go to a great length in ensuring that any new technology which is proposed is properly tested by independent authorities like IITs, NCCBM, CRRI or such organizations who certify their veracity. We also encourage the technology providers to get their systems tested. In particular, I would mention about the precast systems which have been adopted because worldwide studies and also in IITs show that there is some lack of clarity about how the joints behave in seismic conditions in case of precast structures. So while we have openly adopted precast structures all over the country, for zone 4 and 5 we say that the complete model of the proposed system, because it is a system, apart from the beams and columns, the junctions, the slab, there are so many different combinations and permutations which are floating in the market and people are proposing. So they have to be tested. In particular, I am talking about seismic behavior because in India we have this thing, and you will all be aware with Bhuj earthquake and all. We have few earthquakes, but very strong earthquakes taking place. Unfortunately or fortunately, whatever, the periodicity is such that after one big earthquake there are maybe 15, 20 or even more, 40, 50 years pass and people just forget about what had happened in the last mishap. So we have to be aware of that. We have to take care of that. So we haven't provided that for zone 4 and 5 particularly, such tests should be done. So similar tests have to be done for various technologies before we adopt them. Because as sir mentioned, CPWD is often taken as a base document. CPWD publications, our daily schedule of rates, our analysis of rates. So we have to take care that we allow them after certain checks. Having said so, I would like to mention that very recently we have now introduced, made mandatory almost, for all our major tenders to be called in EPC, engineering procurement contracts as they call, mode with technology neutral orientation. Earlier, those of you who are aware with public works would know that when we call the tender, we would decide the technology before we call the tenders, and we prepare the estimate accordingly, and then when the tender is floated in the market, we say it has to be done in such and such way, and we prescribe the drawings, and we may at times, in fact most of the times, we used to issue the structural drawings also, and the contractor just had to execute the work accordingly. Now we are saying that we provide the overall architectural concept and basic requirements, controls, so that the contractor can utilize all these new and innovative technologies so as to arrive at the most optimum solution within the framework of allowable codes and safety requirements, which of course we prescribe. So this is a recent change in the last few months we have done, and I think as a result this will give a fillip to the adoption of new construction technologies. Apart from because when we talk of new and innovative technologies, most of the time we are talking about civil construction only. We in CPWD have also enlisted about 24 electrical mechanical side technologies which are equally important. Now today sustainability and being green construction are as important as making the civil structure itself. So in that part, we have introduced so many new technologies by way of which we can reduce energy consumption, initial as well as in running the systems. There are types of chillers which are, because air conditioning is a huge cost today in maintaining any building, running any building. So there are heat pumps, there are chillers, LED lights, all of you know about, solar power systems, solar photovoltaic cells, and so many other technologies there which have been listed in our documents. We have put them on our website, also in our publications, so that public can use them in general. So in short, I would like to say that CPWD in its now 168 years of existence has always kept abreast of the latest materials and technologies. If we look at various times, about 100 years ago we constructed the Rashtrapati Bhavan North Block and South Block, at which time we adopted the best technology of those times. About 25 years ago, I designed the Parliament Library project right next to the Parliament building, and we used diaphragm walls and soil anchors, rock anchors, and such technology which was the best available at that time. As of now also, now we have taken up the Central Vista project. We are constructing the new Parliament building for our country and so many other buildings. There also we are using latest technology. Just to mention one, those of you who are familiar with Delhi a little bit would know that near the North Block and South Block, there were huge hutments of World War II vintage. They were actually originally constructed when World War II was taking place to house the British officers, army officers, and then later on they have just continued like that for so long. They were utilized by defense personnel and such people. Now, we are constructing these new buildings in Central Vista, which is a very, the most prime location, heart of the city, of the country also you can say, and logistics are an issue. So how to construct there? So for that, the first step was making available the required ground space, for which these hutments had to be removed. So the first requirement was making offices available for these defense personnel who were sitting in those hutments. So we have used this PEB, pre-engineered buildings concept. And even though this COVID wave and everything was going on, within 10 months, we have constructed 2 8-storied buildings, and it was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji last year, and all the defense personnel, about 7,500 if I remember exactly, have shifted to those buildings, and as a result of that, we are able to take those areas up also for development. So just to mention one such building. Then as far as environment friendliness is concerned, we are using green technology. We have recently constructed Atal Akshay Urja Bhavan, which is a 100% net zero building. We are producing through solar photovoltaic cells the entire amount of power which we are consuming in the building. So we are on the job, and I hope with all of you with us, we'll continue to do it in future also. Thank you.